संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे। परंपरा की पुण्य चेतना उर में हम सब धारे, उर में हम सब धारे। बाल हृदय में उसे जगाकर जगे देश यह सारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
सारी दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागो सारी दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ। बंधु भाव समता ममता से सबको गले लगाओ, सबको गले लगाओ। चलो विवेकानंद मार्ग पर शुभ संदेश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा। भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार।
वचनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
पाणिर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरौ नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुरा मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज संहारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय।
सद्गुणों की सागर
धर्म संस्थापकं वीरम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ धूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
Jai Shri Krishna to one and all present here. I, Dr. Kamalvara, welcome you to today's interpretation session. Shri Bhagwan has said, Shraddham Vallabhati Jnanam Tatpara Sanyatendriyaha Jnanam Labdva Param Shanti Machiredadhigacchati. Sanyatendriya are those who keep their indriyas under control through heart penance like Ashtanga Yoga, which is a very difficult sadhana. Hence, it is much easier to surrender all our action and take shelter of Him by sacrificing our doership attitude. Then automatically there won't be any raga or dvesha bhav for anybody under any circumstances. We have left everything to Him. That was precisely Gopi Bhava, and that's why He is Gopinatha. So with this note, I bow in the feet of Lord Krishna and taking blessings from Param Pujya Swami Shri Govind Dev Giri Ji Maharaj, I once again welcome you all to today's enlightening interpretation session of first chapter, Arjun Vishada Yoga Nama, middle part. The great philosopher once said that the function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of one who prays. So for prayer, I would like to call Sarat Kumar Tripathi Bhayaji. He is from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. He is a retired agriculture officer serving as a techno star and associated with Geeta Parivar since September 2022. Please welcome him.
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kaunsachanuramardhanam देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्.
Thank you so much, Bhayaji, for this beautiful prayer. Deepo Jyotir Parabrahma, Deepo Jyotir Janardana, Deepo Haratu Me Papan, Deepa Jyotish Namostute. For deep Prajwalana, I would like to call upon Kailash Suni Bhayaji. He is from Itrasi, Madhya Pradesh. He is a retired government officer, giving seva as a group coordinator, trainer, techno star, TTG mentor, and many more departments of Geeta Parivar. He is associated with Geeta Parivar since December 2021. Please welcome Bhayaji.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you so much, Bhayaji, for this beautiful deep Prajwalana. Now, after Vivechana, we have a question answer session. So whoever has a question, please raise your hand and switch on your camera, please. I request you all, please download Ram Pratishta app and chant as more as you can. Your Hanuman Chalisa chant to be recorded in the app. Now, it's my privilege to welcome our speaker tonight. Our speaker doesn't require any introduction, as he is a well-recognized person in our Geeta Parivar. He is known for his wonderful knowledge. Apart from this, he is an award winner in Geeta Kanthastikaran by Sringeri Vidyapith Param Pujya Jagadguru Shankaracharya Ji. He is native of Pune. He is native of Pune, our Vikas Vaidya Bhayaji. He is one of the most important pillar of Geeta Parivar. He is a trainer of all the levels. He trains Geeta Vratis. He has a good command on Marathi, English, Hindi, Indonesian, Malaysian, and Spanish languages. We are so honored to have him as the speaker for the evening. Please welcome our respected Vikas Vaidya Bhayaji.
जय श्री कृष्ण. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन. We are studying Adhyaya first. Last time we covered up to slok number 25. In 25th sloka, we read भीष्मद्रोणः प्रमुखतः सर्वैषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति. So there Lord Krishna had told Arjuna to look at all the Kuru, members of Kuru dynasty, who have all Samavetan, who have all assembled here with a wish to fight the war. What happens after that? Sanjay explains, Tatra pashya sthitan partha पितॄनथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा. We'll take 27 also along with it. श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान्. And then कृपया पर्याविष्टो विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्. This will make the total thing clear. So let us discuss what is being said here. Tatra pashyasidan partha pitrunata pitamahan acharyan matulan bhartun putran pautran sakim sada shasharan surdushchaiva sena yoru bhayorapi. When Lord Krishna told Arjuna to have a look, Pashya, at Kurus who have assembled here on the battlefield, Arjuna saw the members of his family assembled on both the sides, on the sides of Kauravas as well as on the side of Pandavas. He saw his father's brother, his name was Bhurishrava, who was just like his father. He saw his granduncles, Pitama, Bhishma, Somadatta, then the preceptors, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, then maternal uncles such as Purijit, Kunti Bhoj, Shalya, Shakuni, etc., etc. Then brothers and cousins, Bhima, cousins, Duryodhana, and sons such as his own son Abhimanyu, Ghatotkacha, Lakshmana, Lakshmana was Duryodhana's son, and grandsons such as sons of Lakshmana, and then friends of Duryodhana, Ashwathama, etc., etc. And then he also saw fathers-in-law such as Drupad, father of Draupadi, Shaibya, and also well-wishers such as Satyaki, Krutavarma, etc. After that, Tan Samikshasa Kaunte Yas Sarvan Bandhunavasthitan Krupaya Pareya Avishto Vishidannitam Abravit. After seeing all this, members of family on the both armies, what happens? Seeing all those relations present there and standing at their appointed places, he was filled with extreme compassion and uttered these following words in sadness. Krupaya. Krupaya is sadness. Krupaya, not Hindi Krupaya, please, but Krupaya is sadness. Surrounded by Krupaya. Krupaya, fear, surrounded by fear, sadness. Vishidannitam abravit. He said these words. Which words he said? Tan samikshasa kaunteya sarvan bandhuna vastitan. So tan sarvan bandhuna vastitan samiksha. Samiksha is to see, have a look. So besides the warriors mentioned in the earlier shlokas, Arjuna, he saw great grandfathers such as Bahilika, brothers-in-law such as Drushtadimna, Shikhandi, Suratha, and sisters' husbands, brother-in-laws, Jayadratha, etc. And several others of his relatives, friends, well-wishers, who were posted in different positions in both the armies. He was not looking only at Kaurava's armies, he was having a look at his own army as well. But what he saw was, on both the sides, all the kings are taking the position to fight war against each other. So Kaunteya, Krupaya, Paryavishta. So Kaunteya means that Arjuna was ordered by his mother Kunti to wage the war. He took the permission of Kunti. Kunti had ordered him to take revenge against the insult meted out to Draupadi and all the Kauravas who have been denying the rightful claim of Pandavas on half of the kingdom. So Kunti had ordered the war to be done by Arjuna. Now, that time he was full of valor and stout-heartedness. He entered the battlefield like a great Kshatriya to observe the chief warriors of Kaurava's army. And now he is Krupaya Paryavishto. He is overcome by the cowardice. After seeing the warriors who were related to him through family and learning on both the sides, Arjuna suddenly developed an attitude of kinship. Oh, they are my own people. Because he thought that on both the sides, there were his kinsmen and they would be killed in the war, whether they are on Pandav side or they are on Kaurav side. When they're fighting war with each other, there will be people dying from both the sides. So in this way, it was his family that would be destroyed on either side. Both are Kurus. Kauravas also Kurus, Pandavas also Kurus. So his family will get destroyed in the war. Now thinking like this, the stout-heartedness which he had when he entered the battlefield, it gave the place to cowardice. And he gave up the idea of war. This faint-heartedness has been called by Lord Krishna in second adhyaya as well. In second adhyaya, Lord Krishna calls it Kashmalamanam. Kashmalam. So that is the cowardice, dejection and Hrudaya Daurbalyam. In second adhyaya, there is a word used by Lord Krishna, Hrudaya Daurbalyam. That means the weakness of heart. Arjuna also accepted that he Karpanya Dosho Pahatas Bhava. In second adhyaya, Arjuna accepted that he has become weak. Nature is being tainted by weakness and faint-heartedness. That he accepted. Karpanya Dosho Pahatas Bhava. And Krupaya Avishta means that that faint-heartedness which he had developed suddenly after seeing his kids and kin on both the sides of the army in Pandavas as well as in Kauravas. But this faint-heartedness could be a temporary phase in him, while the stout-heartedness he was originally Kshatriya, a very brave person. So this stout-heartedness is a permanent virtue of his life. Thus, the temporary phase of faint-heartedness cannot last long, while this stout-heartedness will remain forever. This is what normally happens. Now, what is the extreme cowardice? Extreme cowardice in Arjuna is that he does not think and make efforts to kill his cruel and unrighteous opponents. That was the cowardice. Such as Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, etc., who without any reason, they insulted Draupadi. They insulted Pandavas on many occasions. They tried to kill Pandavas on many occasions. But not to fight war against them is extreme cowardice on the part of Arjuna. Somehow or the other, Pandavas were never given a good treatment by Kauravas. They were always insulted, always tried to be killed and all that. On the other hand, he is taking pity on them. Arjuna, instead of getting angry and taking revenge, now he is taking pity on them. And he is thus deviating from his duty. As a Kshatriya, his duty was to take up the war. But he is deviating now from his duty after he saw all the people. Vishidanye Dhamma Pravit. Arjuna is very much dejected after thinking over the consequences of the war for the family. Because everyone will get killed. That was his fear. And then he spoke these words. Now here, what we need to understand is that when the son of Kunti, that is Arjuna, he sees all the friends and relatives who are now ready to fight the war with each other, he becomes overwhelmed with the compassion, sorrowfully and wistfully, and he asks Krishna, oh, what is this happening? He was experiencing intense mental pain and anguish, Arjuna. See, the war was happening as a last resort. People tried to avoid the war and it could not be avoided. So it was the last resort that the war was to take place. When all the attempts to make peace had failed, the Pandavas they had legitimate right and legitimate reasons to wage the war. Duryodhana was a symbol of unrighteousness, anger, extreme greed, and egoism. Arjuna knew all this very well. He had not forgotten the humiliation publicly inflicted on his wife Draupadi by the Kauravas. But despite that, standing now in the battlefield and seeing his own kith and kin ready to kill each other, he gets filled with intense grief and deep compassion. And tortured by his own emotions, he gets deeply anguished, agonized Arjuna. He spoke to Arjuna like this. He spoke to Arjuna. What he spoke? He spoke to Arjuna. We'll take in the next shloka, 28. We had taken a part of 28. Krupaya pera vishnu vishidani dhamma pravit. Then he says, Društvevam svajanam Krishna yutsum samupasthitam सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मखैञ्च परिशुष्यति वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते. This is 28 and 29 both together. So Društva, after seeing imam, all these svajanam, family members, Krishna, Lord Krishna, yutsam, having desired to fight, and samupasthitam, present here. So Arjuna became very sad, overwhelmed with compassion, and he spoke these words. Oh dear Krishna, after seeing my friends and relatives present here with a desire to fight the war, what happens? Sidanti mama gatrani mukhainja parishishyati vepathuscha sharire me roma harshascha jayate. Sidanti. Sidanti, to get lifeless. Mama, my, gatrani. Gatra means the limbs of the body. Hands, legs, these are the limbs of body. So these are gatrani. Mukham, mouth. Parishishyati, that means drying up. Vepathuscha, trembling of the body. Vepathuscha. Sharire, of course, body. Me, my, Roma harsha. Roma harsha, the body hair, the small hair on the body. These are Roma harsha. And jayate means they stand up. The small hair on the body getting standing. They get standed. When we are afraid of something, we see that the small hair, Roma harsha, on body, they stand on their end. So this is Roma harshascha jayate. So Arjuna says, Sidantima bhagatrani mukhainja parishishyati vepathusya sharire me Roma harshascha jayate. I feel limbs of my body have become lifeless. My hands, my legs have become lifeless. And they are quivering. My mouth is going dry. Mukham parishishyati. My whole body is trembling. Vepathusya sharire. Whole body is trembling. And my hair, body hair, are standing on the end. Roma harshascha jayate. What happens after that? Gandivam sransate hastat pakshaiva paridhyate naja shaknomyavasthatum brahmati vachame manaha. Gandhi. Gandhi was the name of bow of Arjuna. Sransate. Sransate is to slip off. Hastat, from the hands. Tvak. Tvak means skin. Dhyate. Paridhyate is burning. Na shaknomi. I am not able. Na shaknomi. I am not able. Avasthitum, to stand. Brahmati. Brahmati, that means somebody's mind which is not able to focus. Somebody keeps forgetting again and again. That is Brahmati. So he says, Arjuna says, after he says this, Sidanti mama gatrani mukhainja parishishyati vepathusya sharire me roma harshascha jayate. Further, Gandivam sransate hastat pakshaiva paridhyate naja shaknomyavasthatum brahmati vachame manaha. My Gandhi bow, Gandhi Dhanusha, is slipping from my hands. My skin is burning. And I am not able to stand anymore. My mind is going haywire. Brahmati, I am not able to focus my mind, as if I am forgetting everything. That is Brahmati vachame manaha. Brahmati vachame manaha. So Društvevam svajanam Krishna yutsam samupasthitam sidanti mama gatrani mukhainja parishishyati vepathusya sharire me roma harshascha jayate gandivam sransate hastat pakshaiva paridhyate nacha shaknomyavasthatum brahmati vachame manaha. See, Arjuna, he loved the name Krishna very much. So he has been addressed by his name in Geeta so many times, more than any other names. Lord Krishna similarly you loved Arjuna's name Partha. Therefore, while talking to each other or talking together, both of them they address each other by these names, Krishna and Partha, Krishna Partha, Krishna Partha. And this fact is well known to other people as well. Therefore, Sanjaya at the end of 18th Adhyay, 78th sloka of Bhagavad Gita of 18th Adhyay, he mentions Krishna and Partha. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. 18th Adhyay, last sloka. So wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Partha. So this is the very popular names of Lord Krishna and Partha, who were calling each other with those names. Now Dhritarashtra in the first shloka, what we see, he uses the phrase Samaveta Yutsavaha, coming together with a desire to fight the war. Arjuna here has said Yutsum Samupasthitam. That means they are arranged here to fight. But there is a vast difference between what Dhritarashtra said and what Arjuna is saying now. Dhritarashtra is partial to his sons. So he uses the words Mamaka, my sons, Mamaka, and Pandava, Pandu's sons. But Arjuna is impartial. He doesn't say my brothers and Kauravas. He doesn't say this. He uses the terms Swajanam. So there is a difference in the psyche of both Arjuna and Dhritarashtra. He says Swajanam. They are also my people. They are studying opposite me, fine, but they are also my people. Swajanam. This shows the purity of the heart of Arjuna and the bad thinking of Dhritarashtra, who always differentiated between his sons and Kauravas, Mamaka and Pandava. Here, Arjuna is saying Swajanam. So this is the difference between both. It means that Dhritarashtra was more worried about the death of warriors, his own people, that means Kauravas. While Arjuna is worried about the death of warriors in both the armies, not only Pandavas, but both the armies. Because he thinks that both the warrior groups are his own kith and kin. Swajanam. Both are Swajanam. Till now, Drishtva. Drishtva word also has been used many times. Here also there is a difference between what Dhritarashtra used and what is used by Arjuna. And Sidanti mama gatrani mukhainja parishishati vepadasya sharire me romaharsha jayate gandivam srasate hastat pakshaiva paridayate nacha shaknom vyavasthatum brahmati vacha me manaha. Now thinking of the consequences of war, Arjuna is worried and sad. So his limbs are giving away. His limbs are becoming lifeless. His mouth is getting dry. His body shakes. His body hair are standing on the end. Roma harsha shajayate. The same Gandhi bow, the sound of whose string terrified the enemies. Arjuna was very, very brave. He defeated so many enemies in the past. And looking at his Gandhi Dhanusha, people used to run away from the battlefield. That was his reputation as a brave warrior. And now this same Gandiva is dropping from his hands. His skin is burning all over. His mind is confused. He is in real dilemma. And he is unable even to stand on the war front. Not able to stand. He feels as if he will fall unconscious now. And thinks it is a scene to wage the war. So this is the this is sort of the mental condition of Arjuna. Arjuna, he says, Lord Krishna, on seeing my friends and relatives present here before me, ready to fight with each other and kill each other, my limbs are trembling, my mouth is running dry, my entire body is feeling limp, and my hair is standing on the end. So this is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and this is the beginning of Vishada of Arjuna. Arjuna is very clearly describing his physical and mental state. On seeing all his loved ones, his childhood friends, those beloved elders in whose comforting lap he had grown up, those esteemed teachers who had taught him all that he knew, those he had loved and played with, seeing all his endearing friends and family, a strange kind of fear, it gripped Arjuna. What terrible times I have to face. He was about to wage a war against those very individuals he loved and cared for. Arjuna was indeed intensely sad, distressed. See, there is one war that was being fought by Arjuna, but then there is another war. The one that you fight in the battlefield of your daily life. We all fight our war in our daily life. Our own Kurukshetra. Our life is our own Kurukshetra. We don't call it Dharma Kshetra because we don't know whether we follow Dharma or not, but it is definitely a Kurukshetra. Dharma Kshetra is Kurukshetra, but our Kshetra maybe not Dharma Kshetra, but at least it's a Kurukshetra. Now we are bound by our own attachments and we face constant dilemma as to what to do, how to follow the path of truth when you know that it will hurt your near ones and dear ones. If you speak the truth, your near ones and dear ones may get hurt. So how to talk, how to take decision in such cases? And when those close to you, they feel hurt, they tend to create conflict. Be it your children, your parents, your brothers, your friends, your colleagues in the office, anyone. We are all modern day Arjunas. We face so many situations in our life when our beloved ones, they oppose us. Every individual thinks he is right and the other is wrong. Duryodhana had no doubt that he was right. Even Duryodhana thought that he was right. That is why he was so determined to fight against Pandavas. He justified his demand. What was his justification? By saying that his father Dhritarashtra was the eldest son and hence the rightful heir to the throne of Hastinapur. But he was deprived of his right because he was blind, and the throne was instead given to Pandu, who was able-bodied person, okay, and second in the line, he was younger. Duryodhana's argument was that it was not his father's fault that he was born blind. Hence, if one sees situation from Duryodhana's point of view, he was fighting for his father's rights. That was his justification. Duryodhana felt that it was only fair that he, being the eldest son of Dhritarashtra, was the legitimate heir to the throne. It was customary that the eldest son would succeed to the throne. Anywhere it is the tradition. And the younger son could only support him, the elder brother. But he could not aspire to be the successor. But here what happened? The one who was supposed to be successor, Pandu, he was given the throne and Dhritarashtra was sidelined. So eldest brother was regarded that time also and today also as father figure, and he was revered such as a father. Dhritarashtra, being the eldest son, he should have been given the throne, but he was deprived by none other than Pitama Bhishma, who took all decisions in Kauravas and Pandavas affairs. Hence Duryodhana was resentful of Bhishma and he could not accept or approve his decision. Further, Duryodhana's argument was that after the death of Pandu, Bhishma had seated Dhritarashtra on the throne and the latter had ran the kingdom without any problems, Dhritarashtra. So it was Dhritarashtra who could run the kingdom well after the death of Pandu. Then why he would not have done the same when Pandu was not dead? When Pandu was alive, Dhritarashtra could have as well run the kingdom very well as he did after Pandu's death. So why was not he given the rightful place in the beginning itself? So in a way, Duryodhana had a valid reason in saying that his father had suffered injustice at the hands of Bhishma. He believed that if he would not avenge the wrong done to his blind old father, who else would do? I am his eldest son, and if I will not avenge the disrespect, the insult meted out to my father, who is poorly blind, who would do it? So this was the justification from Duryodhana's side for fighting against Pandavas. Some people straight away sympathize with Pandavas. We also do. But if we see from Duryodhana's point of view, this justification was not entirely incorrect. It was not entirely incorrect. What went wrong was Duryodhana's aggressively ambitious attitude and towering ego, which misguided him, and eventually it led to his downfall. Everything could have been settled through conciliation, but he did not follow that path. He wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. See, there is a very thin line between what is right and what is wrong. What may appear right to me may appear wrong to you, or what is right, you may think right, I may think it is wrong. It is very difficult to say who is absolutely right and who is absolutely wrong. Absolute word is important. So how to make a statement that this is absolutely right or this is absolutely wrong? There is always something between absolutely right and absolutely wrong. It is all relative, and it depends on the context. Duryodhana was angry because Pandavas, they had snatched his father's right. So how could they be righteous? They are not on the right side. I am on the right side. That was his conviction. This was his argument. It was not Dhritarashtra's fault that he was born blind. Now this story could go on and on, but the point here is, we could go into the story again, which we discussed in the last session at the end during question answer session, about the birth of Bhishmacharya and birth of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, all that story what we discussed in the last session. But let's not go too much into details of that. Here the point is only that there is nothing absolutely right and absolutely wrong. Both sides have a story to tell to justify their actions. Here we have been all hearing this side from Pandava's side, that they were sent to Vanvasa and 1 year in that incognito place, and when they came back they were denied half of the kingdom. Duryodhana's point was, why the kingdom was to be shared half when Dhritarashtra is alive? He is the king. He is the king whole and soul. So why do you divide the kingdom? Not necessary. So that was his argument. Okay, let's proceed further to shlok number 31. Nimittani ja pashyami viparitani keshava naja shreyo nupashyami hatva swajanamahave. We'll take all these shlokas together now. Na kankshe vijayam krishna na cha rajyam sukhani cha kinno rajyena govinda kim bhogair jivite nama येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितन्नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणांस् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास् तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् हन्तुमिच्छामि नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य एतः किन्नु मही कृते निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वै ताना ततायिनः. This all these shlokas are related. So I just read it once, but then you can go into shlok by shlok. Nimittani ja pashyami viparitani keshava naja shreyo nupashyami hatva swajanamahave. Nimittani. These are all the symbols, causes. Pashyami, I am seeing. Viparitani, just the opposite. Then what it should be? Keshava. Keshava is the killer of a demon called Keshi. So that was the name of Lord Krishna, Keshava. Shreya, good. Anupashyami. Do I see it right? Do I foresee correct? Hatva. Hatva is to kill. Swajanam, my own people, my relatives, my friends, my own people. Ahave, in the fight. So nimittani pashyami viparitani keshava naja shreyo pashyami hatva swajanamahave. Arjuna says, I see these symptoms. Which symptoms? Vyeputusha sharire me romharsha jayate, and before that, sidanti mama gatrani mukhainja varishishati. Normally, a kshatriya, when he is ready to take the war, take on the enemy, he should be charged with a lot of courage. And he should be eager to start the battle as quickly as possible. That is the anxiety that normally is there in the mind of a kshatriya. But here, the opposite has happened. The kshatriya, the Gandiva slipped from his hands, his body started trembling, he was not able to stand also, his mind went haywire. So Arjuna says, this is all viparitani. This is all opposite than what it should have really happened. Normal situation, I should have been charged to take up the enemy, to take on the enemy. But here, opposite is happening. I don't see anything good is going to happen, because these indications before starting of the war are all negative indications. Viparitani. These are all opposite of what should have really happened. So definitely, this is an indication that nothing good is going to happen by killing my own people in this battle. Nimittani pashyami viparitani keshava naja shreyo pashyami atva swajanamahave. Then further, na kankshe vijayam krishna na charajyam sukhani cha kinno rajyena govinda kim bhogair jivitena va. Na kankshe. No, nor kankshe. Kanksha means desire. Vijayam. Vijayam is of course victory. Rajyam. Rajya, kingdom. Sukhani, happiness. Kim. Kim. What is the use? Kim means what? What is the use? Rajyena, from the kingdom. Govinda. Govinda is of course calling for Arjuna, Lord Krishna. Kim, again, what? Bhogai. Bhogai means to bhogna, that means to enjoy. Jivitena. Jivitena is living. So Arjuna says, na kankshe vijayam krishna, na cha rajyam sukhani cha, kinno rajyena govinda, kim bhogair jivitena va. I don't see desire for victory. I have no desire for victory. Na kankshe vijaya. I don't have desire for victory. Nor do I have desire for kingdom. Na cha rajyam. Nor do I have the desire for any happiness that will arrive out of this war. So what is the use of this kingdom then? Govinda, what is the use of this enjoyment and even the life after this war? Will there be a meaning to the life after this war when all are getting killed? Will there be any place for enjoyment when all are getting killed? So Arjuna says, I don't want victory, I don't want kingdom, I don't want any happiness. What is the use? When everybody is getting killed, what will I enjoy? Ta ime vasthita yuddhe pranans tyakva dhanani cha acharya pitarah putras tathaiva cha pitamaha. All that he says. Now yesham arthe kangshitanno rajyam bhoga sukhani cha ta ime vasthita yuddhe pranans tyakva dhanani cha. They means all of them. Ime, all these. Avasthita. Avasthita, who are all present here, standing in front of me. Yuddhe. Yuddhe is battlefield. Pranan, of the lives. Tyaktva. Tyaktva is to relinquish, to give up. Dhanani. Dhanani is the dhan, riches. Yesham, of them. Arthe, for the sake of. Kangshitam. Kangshitam, we saw this word. Desire. Rajyam, kingdom, bhoga, enjoyment, sukhanicha, happiness. So Yeshamarthe Kangshitam no Rajyam Bhoga Sukhanicha Taime Vasta Yudhe Pranans Tekva Dhananicha. Well, for all those for whom we desire to have the kingdom, we want to have the enjoyment, and we want to have the happiness in life, they are all standing here in front of us, ready to kill each other. So these are the very own people, these are the very people for whom we want kingdom, we want to have enjoyment, we want to have happiness, for all these people. And they are standing in front of us. with the desire to kill each other. Then for whom we are doing all this? And they are prepared to relinquish whatever they have earned so far, their riches, dhanani. They want to relinquish all that they have earned so far in the life. Not only that, they want to relinquish their lives as well. Pranan saktva dhanani cha. They want to give up their life. So Arjuna says, Yesham arthe kangshitanno rajyam bhoga sukhani cha. Taime vasda yudhe pranan saktva dhanani cha. For whom we want this enjoyment, this kingdom, this happiness, they're all ready here to kill each other. Then what for we are doing all this? Further he says, Slok 34, Acharya pitarah putras tathaiva cha pitamaha matula shvashurah pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha. We'll read 35th also along with it. Both are connected. Etan nahantamicchami gnatopi madhusudana apitrailokya rajyasya hetah kinnumahi krite. And 36th also. Nihatya dharda rashtranah kapritisya janardana papameva shraye dasman hatvai tana tatainaha. So, Acharya pitra putra sadhaiva pitamaha matula shvashra pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha. Acharya, teachers, pitara, father-like figures, putra, sons, tatha, as well as, and eva, others, certainly, cha, also, pitamaha, grandfathers, matula, maternal uncle, shvashura, fathers-in-law, pautra, grandsons, shyala, shyala is what we say in Hindi, sala. So, sala and shala is same, brother-in-law, sambandhin, all relatives, tatha means and. So, Arjuna says, when teachers, acharya, pitara, fathers, sons, as well as grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives. Half of the meaning is in next loka. Etan nahantamicchami gnatopi madhusudana apitrailokya rajyasya hetah kinnumahi krite. Etan, all this. Who all this? Acharya pitra putra sadhaiva cha pitamaha matula shvashra pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha. All this. Hantum, to kill. Hantum is to kill. No, never. Ichhami. Ichhami is to I wish. Gnata. Gnata means being killed. Api. Even if. Trailokya. Swarga, Prithvi, Patal. This is Trailokya. All the three worlds. Rajyasya. The kingdom. Heto. Heto means exchange. In exchange of. Kim. Why? Mahi krute. For the earth. Mahi is Prithvi. So Mahi krute for the earth. So this 34 and 35 shloka, Arjuna says, Acharya pitra putra sathaiva ja pitamaha matula shvashra pautra shyala sambandhinas tatha etan hantamichhami gnatopi madhusudana apitrailokya rajyasya etoh kinnumahi krite. Lord Krishna, when the teachers, the fathers, the sons, as well as the grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandson, brothers-in-law, and all other relatives attack on me, they attack on me, and then I am not able to, even then I am not willing to kill them. So this list of people that we read in 34th shloka, Arjuna says, if they attack on me, I am not willing to kill them. Madhusudana, that means Lord Krishna, even if I get the ownership of all the three worlds, Rajyasya, Trailokya, Swarga, Prithvi, Patal, even if I get the ownership of all these three lokas, even then, I don't want to wish to kill them. I don't wish to kill them. Even if you give me the kingdom, all the three lokas, Swarga, Prithvi, Patal, in exchange of that also, I am not able to, I am not willing to kill them. Eto kinnu mahikrute. Then just for this small piece of kingdom on the earth, why will I kill them? So this is the argument from Arjuna, that even if you give me the ownership of three lokas, Swarga, Prithvi, Patal, even then I will not kill these people. They are my own people. They are my own friends, relatives, all that list what we have read. So for just small piece of earth here, for the kingdom of this earth, why will I kill them? Etoh kinnu mahi krite. Further he says, Nihatya dhatarashtrannah ka priti janardana papameva shre dasman atvaitana tatainaha. Janardana, that means Lord Krishna, by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra. Nihatya. Nihatya means by killing. Dhritarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra. Ka priti, what pleasure? Syat will be there. What pleasure will be there by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Now his mind is totally changed. He had entered the battlefield to kill Kauravas. Now he says, what pleasure will get by killing them? So the mind has gone 180-degree opposite now. Papam, the sinful act. Ashrayet, to get refuge. Asman, us. Hatva, hatva is to kill. Etan, etan is this. So he says, Ataitan, Ataitan is Atangwadi, terrorists, people who do extreme jobs. So Arjuna says, O Janardana, by killing sons of Dhritarashtra, who are our relatives, what pleasure are we going to get? Even if they are aggressors, even if they are Atangwadi, Ataitana, even if they are terrorists or they are Atangwadi, or even if they are aggressors, we will earn only sin by killing them, because they are belonging to our family, and according to scriptures, killing your own family members is a great sin. So in all these slokas what we have read, Arjuna is speaking his mind, saying that how it is useless to enter into this war. This is a classic case of someone who is gripped by the fear psychosis. When one is gripped by fear, then it is not confined to the mind alone, but its ripples, they run through the body. The anger, the fear is here, but the ripples run through the entire body. So from biological point of view also, the fear causes secretion of some harmful chemicals from the pituitary gland in our brain. That gland, these chemicals are released, which are highly toxic to the body. At the onset of fear, when the fear grips you, the blood circulation begins to slow down. This is the first sign. The blood circulation begins to slow down. The heart starts beating faster, and the pulse rate also increases. These are the symptoms of fear. The principal element constituting the fear is earth. Hence, it leads to the kind of inertia in the body. Your body gets gripped by the inertia. You don't feel like moving here and there. Fear leads to an imbalance in the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. These are all medical terms. But let us understand that it affects our nervous system. And the entire body gets stressed out. There is a buildup of muscular tension in the body. You are gripped by the fear. And the resulting chemical imbalance, it leads to the state of heightened alertness in the body. Fear arises in the mind, but its effects are seen all over the body. Anger creates heat in your body and raises the body temperature, whereas fear leads to physical inertia and drop in the body temperature. Both are opposite. While in anger, the blood circulation in body accelerates. In case of fear, it slows down. It can drop to so low that it may cause even the death. When the blood circulation goes so much low that it may cause death. Even extreme anger can cause death. Since the blood flow in arteries and the pulse rate, it escalates at such high level that the body cannot bear that high level of pulse rate and high level of heartbeat. Hence, it is said that anger and fear are bad for your health. Both can kill you. If not total killing, they will destroy your health part by part, slowly at least. Extreme anger can kill, extreme fear can kill, but any kind of anger, any kind of fear will be slow poisoning, will be slow killing. See, if you are, we are discussing this, it is relevant only, we think that it is relevant, all this what we are discussing, it is only relevant to Arjuna. But is it so? Then we are not understanding Geeta. If we are reading it from a story point of view, that Arjuna is telling this and Krishna is listening this, or Sanjay is telling this and Dhritarashtra is listening this, then this is only story. What we need to understand is, this is our story as well. This is our story as well. Are we free from anger and fear? Are we free from attachment to our family members? Does not our mind get gripped by fear just by thinking of any possible future mishaps or losses that we may incur? The story is the same, whether it is Arjuna or whether it is us. Only the times have changed. This event, what we are discussing in Bhagavad Gita, it happened, say, around 5,500 years back. But it is true and relevant in these modern times as well. That's why Bhagavad Gita is applicable today also. The demons of danger, fear and attachment that Arjuna was facing 5,500 years back, all those are valid today also. We are also facing the same demons in our day-to-day life. So what has changed? Nothing has changed. Same Gita, what was told to Arjuna, is applicable to us also. Because the same demons which were there that time, 5,500 years back, they are there today also. His Bhagavad Gita is as relevant today as it was thousands of years back. Don't regard it as something ancient mythology. It's not mythology. That happened to someone else long time ago, and then we are just discussing that story. It's not a storytelling. It is very much contemporary and highly appropriate for us today, in today's time. The only difference is that we never accept it or we never acknowledge it. Our own self, that we have anger, we have fear, we have attachments. So what were the shortcomings of Arjuna? Those same very shortcomings are there in us also. But we don't accept it. Do we accept? But Arjuna accepted it. Arjuna, he said, yes, I have these problems. All these symptoms he spoke on his own. That Lord Krishna, this is what is happening to me. Do we ever accept this? He is saying to Krishna that, oh Keshava, he had killed the demon called Keshi. So his name Keshava. He is therefore addressed as Keshava. Arjuna says, I can see only misery and tragedy in this war. I cannot see how any good can come from killing my own kith and kin in this battle. Everyone driven by the fire of aversion, ambition and ego is fiercely impatient. He is impatient for the war. And I don't see welfare of anyone in such a situation. It is all filled with these misery and tragedies. It is filled with aversion, ambition, ego. So when the atmosphere is totally filled with this, how something good can happen? I do not want any kingdom. I am not desirous of victory anymore. I don't want any kingdom. For what is that worth or the victory in this battle that would be gained by killing my own people? Govinda, what use will be the kingdom? What will be the worth of our triumph that is stained with blood on my own loved blood of my own loved ones? My hands are stained with the blood of my own relatives. Then what use that kingdom will be for me? I don't want success on these terms. These terms are too difficult for me to accept for success. For those very people for whom we desire kingdom, sensual pleasures and happiness, they have decided to sacrifice their wealth, their dhananicha and prana, their life as well. So the kingdom for which we are fighting is inert, made up of perishable matter, and we are all willing to kill each other merely for that perishable kingdom. How very absurd is this? Inert kingdom, inert wealth, inert possessions, and furthermore, the body through which one will enjoy the trappings of luxury, even that body is inert. Are we so insane? Have we lost our senses? That we are willing to give up this valuable life for the pursuit of these worthless inert objects? Arjuna is telling Lord Krishna, Madhusudana, on seeing my teachers, my grandfathers, my maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandson, brothers-in-law, etc., 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 we have gathered here. I am getting overwhelmed by intense pain. Have we fallen so low that for a mere kingdom, for mere wealth, we are willing to stake the lives of all near ones and dear ones? Now you tell me, have you not frequently faced the situation wherein either you have fought with your relatives or they have fought with you? This is a question for us to answer. Yes, the fight may have been verbal, onslaught of words, and not through weapons as it happened in Mahabharata. Sneering, deriding, mocking, humiliating others. Have we not done this sometime in our life? It is common to see people fighting over money matters. It does happen. Property, jewelry, inheritance. Then be it husband and wife, or father and son, brothers and sisters, fighting with each other for all these things, so on and so forth. Money is so very often the cause of discord and hostility in so many relationships. It is indeed possible to live this short life in a beautiful way. But people find beauty only in the inert object, money, property. They don't have the eyes to see the beauty in life itself. Is not life complete, beautiful on its own without these inert objects? What can be the price of a glorious sunrise which you see every day? Or the whiff of fresh, buoyant air that comes? To be able to feel the refreshing raindrops against your hot, dry skin when you experience the first raindrop. And to be able to bath in that delightful drizzle of rains in the first rains. The laughter of a child, the dazzling colors of a butterfly, can they be bought with money? Is not that also life? It is all simply invaluable. Life is invaluable. It cannot be counted in terms of money. But we don't appreciate this sheer vibrancy happening all around us. All we have become habituated to the perception of inert objects. Money, 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 money. You fret over not getting the house or the car, or feel aggrieved that the brother took away what was rightfully yours. Have not you fought with others for possessing something or the other? Yes, we do. Have not others fought with you? Yes, they have. So is not your life a battlefield? Yes, it is. Is not it the Kurukshetra? Yes, it is Kurukshetra. Maybe it is not Dharmakshetra, but it is Kurukshetra. It is. It is very much the battlefield. The day-to-day life for us is a battlefield. Bhagavad-Gītā, as it was applicable to the war of Kurukshetra, is equally applicable to the battlefield in which we are fighting our day-to-day life. And here Arjuna is saying, I am willing to even die at the hands of the sons of Dharatra. I am not prepared to fight with them, even in the exchange of the three worlds, let alone the earth. What pleasure can I possibly derive from killing them? So these are all the thoughts which Arjuna Vishad Yoga is expressing, which come to our mind as well and when we face day-to-day problems. And we have gone through the same turmoil in our life someday or the other. Everyone goes through this. Everyone. That's why I said we are all Arjunas fighting the battle of Kurukshetra. Okay, I think we stop here. Now the forum is open for you to raise the questions. Thank you so very much for patiently listening to me. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vaidya. Our heartfelt gratitude to you, Vikas Vaidya. We are deeply appreciative of the fact that you have devoted your time to us. We are extremely grateful to respected Vikas Vaidya for delivering an enlightening interpretation session. Thank you so much once again. Now it's time for question answer session. So whoever has a question, please raise your hand and switch on your camera. Whoever has a question, you can ask your question by raising your hand. Please raise your hand.
Feel free to raise your questions. Arjun Vishad Yoga, we have a lot of Vishad in our also day-to-day life.
Yes. Anyone having any question, you can raise your hand, please. We have really beautiful interpretation session for today.
See, in this adhyaya, Bhagavan Shri Krishna has not spoken a single word. And that is how he wants to understand Arjuna's problem. He is giving a free hand to Arjuna to express himself. Like when you go to a doctor, when there is something that happens to you, you go to a doctor and doctor gives first 5-10 minutes only a patient hearing to you. So that he understands what exactly is your problem. And then he will start speaking and start giving you some medication. Now, Lord Krishna is doing the same way. He is just giving a patient hearing to Arjuna. What are his exact problems? He's hearing about totally. And then from second adhyaya onwards, from 11th shloka of second adhyaya, Ashochanam Pradnyavada Shubhajase, he will start giving his message to Arjuna. And through Arjuna to entire humanity as to how to cure this kind of frustrations in life. So this is the background what we are discussing. The problems which Arjuna has expressed in this adhyaya, Vishad Yoga, same Vishad is happening in our life also. Same Vishad, no difference. And how to treat this Vishad in our life and then attain Paramatma, attain Krishna, that is what we are going to learn in Bhagavad Gita. This is just the beginning of the background of Bhagavad Gita, what we discussed in Arjuna Vishad Yoga, the first adhyaya. The principles of meditation, the principles of Bhagavad Gita, the principles of messages of Lord Krishna will start all from the second adhyaya. But before we go to second adhyaya, we need to understand the background as to what is the context of Bhagavad Gita. As we know, Bhagavad Gita has happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Two great things have happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. One is Bhagavad Gita and another is Vishnu Sahasranam. Both are the gifts of Kurukshetra. Only difference is Bhagavad Gita happened before the war started and Vishnu Sahasranam happened when war was over, nearly over. When Pitama Bhishma was lying down on the battlefield, profusely bleeding, but still not living his life, he had a Ichha Maran, and when Yudhishthira went to him and he asked some question, at that time, Pitama Bhishma, he sang Vishnu Sahasranam. So both Vishnu Sahasranam and Bhagavad Gita, the greatest achievements of Maharshi Vedavyas happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The Adya Guru Shankaracharya says that one who knows Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Sahasranam, he doesn't have to open a third book at all. Knowing these two is more than enough. So whatever we learn in Gita, through Gita Parivar classes or through Gita Vivejan, we need to go into details of it, do our own Manan Chintan, our own thinking, and try to go as deep in Gita as possible. When you learn Vishnu Sahasranam, try to go as deep in Vishnu Sahasranam as possible. If we study these both things, then nothing more is left for us to study. It is so complete in all the entire nature, both Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Sahasranam. So if you have any questions, please raise. Otherwise, we can. Okay, there are some questions. I see some hand raised.
Yes, Soumendra Vaidya, please ask.
Jai Shri Krishna. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, as you have said, and we have seen that in the Mahabharata, this is very much related to our daily life. Now, even in our life, also such
Yeah.
thing happen. Like I have seen one of my friend in his family, he has got all the will and everything is there, but he cannot get the property as the other brother is occupying and not allowing. And because of his modesty, as we see that is because of his modesty, he's just keeping quiet and simply he has told just you try to see my family also have to sustain and my property. If you are not giving me, this is not good. How I after me, how my daughters and my wife will sustain in their life. So this is a real problem we are facing. Though we are modest and all that, and we are trying to follow Gita ideal, but then this type of thing happens. So what do you suggest in such type of situation?
No, day-to-day routine life has to be lived as per the rules of this life. Okay.
So there
But at
he
the same time,
fight.
when we are doing this, we should do it without expectations. Without expectations. Whatever has come to my way will come to my way. I will not.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I will not break my rules.
But then he is suffering for the time being, even for husband and wife also.
Yes, but see, ultimately, everybody has to pay a price for his deeds or misdeeds.
That may be in the Purva Janam, probably.
Yeah, that is, yes, that is true. But if he is getting it now, it is because of his karmas. If he is not getting it now, it is also because of his karmas. That does not mean that he should just keep idle. He should keep trying out for it. If he feels logically that he has the right over something, then he should keep fighting for it logically, but not out of greed. Fighting out of greed goes to your discredit.
No, that's why he's modest. No, he's telling that let it be done in a proper way, and by dialogue, let us try to settle it. But he is not the other fellow.
Yeah, then I think one needs to appreciate the thinking of such a person who is not greedy after money.
Yes, he's
The
not
other
that.
part, and that is what is happening in Kauravas and Pandavas also. Kauravas were greedy after land. They wanted to have the entire land. Pandavas were not so greedy. They were happy even with 5 villages to be given to them. But even that was not given. That's why the war took place. So
No, that was because Duryodhana thought that his father Dhritarashtra was disallowed his rightful.
Yeah, he had his own story to tell, but other things also are true that Kauravas tried to kill Pandavas. Pandu was all said and done was the king. Whether he was made rightly or wrongly was a different thing. But he was the king. So the king's sons, if they are asking only for 5 villages, and if that was the method of reconciliation suggested by even Bhagwan Sri Krishna, it should have been accepted and the war would have been done away with.
Yes, then what would have been? What would have not?
Yeah. Probably Geeta would not have happened if that was accepted.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Manju Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna, sir.
Jai Shri Krishna.
One of the Vivechan I heard that according to Shastras, we should not recite Gayatri Mantra. Is it true?
There are conflicting opinion on this. They say that ladies should not do it because in some Shastras they say that if the ladies chant this Gayatri Mantra, it may give birth to some child which is abnormal.
Okay.
So this is a belief, but you need to really consult some real expert to get a opinion on this. But I have also read this and I have also heard this from many experts that Gayatri Mantra is not for ladies. Gents can definitely do it, but ladies should keep away from it. There are some, because see, mantras have an effect on your body. Let us accept it.
Yes.
And that Gayatri Mantra was created for effect on human body, the male body, not on the female body. So when that mantra is chanted, which is not meant for female body, they say that it may create some harmful effect on the female body. And that is something which will result in something which is not wanted, something which is unpleasant.
Okay.
So that is believed, but I suggest you consult some real expert on this. But what you have heard, I have also heard the same way. Yes.
Yes, Sujata Didi.
Namaste, sir. I had same question in continuation to the first person, where we do talk about, possessions and you have to live your life here. And if you go through the teachings of Geeta, so there is a question here. So, say for example, a father believed in a son, and he, let the son take care of the property, and eventually, it so happens that the son is now taking possession of everything, and now the father also has a daughter, one of the daughters, who is not well off, but he has a lot of property, and the son is not ready to reconcile at all, means not give even a pie. Now, and this is an ancestral property, and now he's saying that it's all mine. In that case, what should a father do, right? And you are right. I mean, partly it is because of the father, laying more faith in the son, right?
Yeah.
But now at the point where now the father has a daughter and she has a kid, and he knows that he's so well off to take care of her, but after his death, maybe she will not have anybody. So in that case, would the father then, like as Krishna says, right, his dharma, that is his dharma, should he then just he's not even ready to reconcile, like he's saying it's all mine now, I have taken care of everything, and he has now muscle power, everything. So now many people in the family will say, oh, just let it be, it's your son only, right? For outside it's okay, him and his son, let them take care. But for him, it is between the kids, right? And he's saying that it's not fair for me to leave my daughter just like that. So then should he take the help of the law, right? Go to the courts, and I know courts will take a long time, but as is dharma.
Yes. See, the foremost point important in this is this property for which that gentleman is saying that everything is mine now because I have taken a father.
Yeah.
Are you doing some kind of trading? Have you earned this property with your own efforts? Have you worked for earning this property? If it is not earned by you, you have no legitimate right on it. The father will decide who will take the property. And legally speaking also, the government of India has treated son and daughter as equally partners in the property of their parents. This is legally approved by the courts, approved by the legislation also. So legally, if that lady wants to fight against that brother who is claiming the entire property, he is bound to lose. Of course, it takes a lot of time in the court of law, but till such time, he cannot also enjoy that property because the court will put a stay on that. He can neither sell it nor can enjoy that property. And till the time father is alive, he can change his will also and can transfer entire rights of the property to the daughter. If the son is so much arrogant and he is not prepared to spare anything for his sister, then the father can change his mind and change the will also.
Okay.
So the relative should convince the father that if the brother is not accepting the reconciliation with the sister, please change the property, your property will, and transfer entire thing to your daughter. Let him shout. He cannot do anything legally.
Okay, so according to the Shastra is right. Yeah, okay. I'm saying this because this is with my father only. And initially, my father had this issue with his older brother. And my father, those days, this was like 50 years ago. And my father just left that property in outside Bombay. And he came because we had some properties in Bombay. So here also, like, he's doomed by his son, right? And I have a younger sister who is married. She has some problem and she has a kid. And now my brother has confiscated everything. So now at the age of 88, my dad has made all his will and he's doing everything. We have gone to the court also. But we have a lot of clerk there. And as you can see, they know now my dad is old, so everybody is on because it's muscle and, all those things. So, but at times my dad thinks whether, he's doing, because there are times when in India, we still have this concept, right? You are old, why are you doing it? But he's a very strong man and he always believed in ladies' power. I'm in US here, but my sister is there. So he wants to help her out. And so I just was thinking, at times when we say we are doing this for money and all, at times even he takes a back seat and he thinks, at this age, should I do this or not? But I have very high regards for the way he's fighting for my sister. So I just wanted to know this. When, in a way we think,
Yeah.
should he leave everything? But he's
No,
telling
no.
me that because he has done adharma and he left his brother, he didn't fight with his brother. So sometimes I think that sometimes you need to fight your war. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you'll
of
have to
course.
do it.
Yeah. You see, if people are taking disadvantage of your being so honest, then you should definitely protest. You should not take it
Yes.
lying down. Definitely not. Advise your sister to
Okay.
take her wire to her father and then change the will. Give him only 25%.
Yeah, no, we have done all that.
Give
Yeah.
75% to the sister. Let him change the will. He can
Right.
do
And
that.
I'm supporting my father from here. So that's also a right thing to do, right?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
I'm supporting my father from, okay.
But try to,
Okay.
if the brother is under your control, try to tell him to enter into a method of
Yeah, so it
reconciliation.
happened last 20 years.
Oh
Last
my
20
God.
years, we have been trying to change. And it has reached a point where it's not going anywhere. My dad is at that age where he's really concerned. So, so according to the dharma, he's right. Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Thank
Any
you,
more
sir. Thank you
questions?
so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
Bharat Bhayaji?
Yes, madam. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Somebody had asked regarding the recitation of Gayatri Mantra by the ladies.
Yeah.
Can I speak something on it?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. This Gayatri Mantra and the Vedas are most, celebrated scriptures and the mantra in
Yes.
Arya Samaj.
Yes.
And Swami Dayananda Saraswati has already given his ruling that there is no objection if the ladies also recite this mantra and the Vedas also. They learn the Vedas also. So whenever, if you go to this Arya Samaj, they say that it's all okay for the ladies also to recite Gayatri Mantra and to learn the Vedas also.
That is okay, but there are other contradicting views also. About
In Sanatan, there people used to say like that.
So it is up to you to which school of thought you want to believe.
Yeah. But Arya Samaj has ruled it. The Swami Dayananda Saraswati has ruled it. Okay, it's
That
fine.
way every mantra can be chanted by everyone because it is taking
Yeah.
God name only.
Yeah.
But mantras have an effect on your body. That is a matter of fact. Some mantras cure your diseases also. So those mantras have effect on your body. And if that is true, if it is of course definitely true, but then if the mantras created for male body and female body are different, and if you are singing the mantra meant for male body by a female, it may create problem. Let us accept it. It may. So that's why concerning some expert like Punti Swamiji is better in such cases. Okay, any more questions?
No.
Okay, then thanks a lot. We'll meet again next week.
My special gratitude to our respected Bhayaji, Vikas Bhayaji. Thank you so much. Our technical team, Vivechara team, and all volunteers who are serving for Lord Krishna with Nishkama Bhava. And last but not the least, our viewers who are here. So thank you so much. Now it's time for Samapana Priya. For Samapana Priya, I would like to call Madan Sharma Bhayaji. He is from Ghaziabad. He is a retired bank officer. He is serving as a group coordinator, Technostar, calling and migration team. He is giving his seva. He is associated with Geeta Parivar since November 2022. Please welcome Bhayaji.
Yogesham Satchidananda Vasudevam Brajapriyam Dharma Sanstapakam Viram Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much for this beautiful prayer. Now, please, I request you all stay for Hanuman Chalisa.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर बिमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरना मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Krishna to everyone. See you all in next Arth Vivechana Sattva. Jai Shri Krishna.